Welcome, dear listener, to our journey into the heart of ancient wisdom, Stoicism. Have you ever found yourself caught in a storm of emotion, anxiety before a big presentation, frustration in traffic, or doubt in the face of life's uncertainties? You're not alone. In a world that seems to demand constant hustle, our inner strength can feel stretched thin. But what if I told you that, almost 2,000 years ago, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus outlined simple, actionable practices to help us anchor ourselves, cultivate calm, and tap into a reservoir of resilience? Today's episode, Unleashing Your Inner Strength Through Ancient Stoic Practices, will guide you, step by step, through 5 powerful Stoic exercises that you can begin applying right away. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's explore how to turn ancient insights into everyday empowerment. Part 1. Embracing the dichotomy of control. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a stormy sea, waves crashing relentlessly, wind roaring in your ears. You can't stop the storm, but you can choose how firmly you stand. That, in essence, is the heart of the Stoic dichotomy of control. Have you ever lain awake at night, replaying a conversation you wish you could take back, or worrying about how a colleague will react to your ideas? We've all been there, caught in the whirlpool of what-ifs and if-onlys. Marcus Aurelius, writing in his private journal amid the chaos of ruling an empire, reminds himself and us that our true power lies not in shaping external events, but in mastering our minds. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Notice how urgent his tone feels. This isn't academic theory. It's a lifeline thrown to the drowning. So let's dive deeper. The Stoics divided the world into 2 realms, what we can control and what we cannot. Sounds simple, right? But in practice, our minds blur the line. We scramble after outcomes, a promotion, a social media like, or someone's approval. Here's the catch. Those things live outside our command, and when we tether our happiness to them, we're on a ship with no anchor. Epictetus, once a slave with no claim to freedom, taught that true liberation begins within. During his lecture, he would pose this question: is this within your power? If the answer were no, he'd challenge his students to let go. Imagine you're stuck in traffic, heart pounding, horn blaring around you. Can you change the jam? No, but you can choose to breathe, to recite a calming phrase, or to shift your focus to something productive, an audiobook, perhaps, or planning the positive impact you'll make once you arrive. That simple pivot, that moment of choosing, your response is pure Stoic gold. Seneca, writing passionate letters from his villa, goes even further. He compares our mind to a citadel, impregnable if we keep our gates well guarded. When insults or setbacks batter the walls, we decide whether to let them in. Suppose a friend criticizes your work. In that instant, you have a choice: swallow anger, reframe the words as feedback, or let jealousy fester. The criticism itself, the voice, the words, the tone lies outside your control, but your interpretation, your feelings, and your next action are entirely yours. Let's pause and interact for a moment. Think of a recent worry, something small or large. Can you list which parts were within your power and which weren't? You might find that more was outside your control than you first believed, and that's liberating. It means you can stop shouldering unnecessary burdens. But don't mistake this philosophy for passivity. Stoicism isn't about resignation, it's about focused action. By accepting what we cannot change, we conserve our strength for what we can. Marcus Aurelius faced invasions, betrayals, and plagues. Did he fold? No. He directed his energy toward wisdom, integrity, and courage, areas firmly within his sphere. Here's a practical ritual to anchor this in your daily life. Whenever you feel tension rising, pause and ask, what can I control here? Write the answers down: your thoughts, your effort, your attitude. Then ask, what is out of my hands? Name those 2 and visualize setting them down by your feet. This ritual, repeated, trains your mind to distinguish between driftwood and anchor, freeing you to stand firm no matter the gale. In embracing the dichotomy of control, you transform your inner landscape from a battlefield to a sanctuary. You become like a tree with deep roots, flexible yet unbreakable, swaying but never toppling. And in that steadiness, you discover the quiet, unwavering power that Stoics called ataraxia, peace of mind. So next time life's storm clouds gather, remember, you can't still the sea, but you can command your ship, and that is where your true strength lies. Part 2. Negative visualization, anticipating challenges to build gratitude. Imagine waking up one morning to find the roof leaking, your favorite book ruined, or a message that your project has been postponed indefinitely. Your heart sinks, knot tightens in your chest, and you taste disappointment. Now pause for a moment. What if you had envisioned this scenario the night before? Strange as it may sound, this deliberate rehearsal of hardship is the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization, and it holds the key to deepening gratitude and emotional resilience. At first glance, imagining loss or misfortune feels counterintuitive. Why dwell on what could go wrong? Because by gently confronting potential setbacks in advance, we strip them of their power to shock or derail us. We move from surprise and despair into readiness and appreciation. Seneca, writing to his friend Lucilius, urged him to daily prepare your mind for the worst, not to dwell in gloom, but to keep the good in poignant relief. When you imagine losing something, you illuminate its value. Let's dive deeper into the philosophy. The Stoics believe that everything external, wealth, reputation, relationships, is ultimately fleeting. Our attachment to these externals breeds fear of loss, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. Negative visualization is a mental vaccine. By exposing ourselves in small doses to imagined adversity, we build immunity to panic and cultivate serenity. We learn that, even if the worst unfolds, we possess the inner tools to endure. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who faced plague, political intrigue, and endless military campaigns. He recorded in his meditations that he would imagine the loss of his children, the burning of Rome, or exile to a barren isle. These painful images sharpened his ability to cherish what he had: his family's laughter, the quiet of his study, the loyalty of his friends. When real trials came, he faced them with equanimity, because he had already walked the path in his mind. Now, you might wonder, how can I practice this without sliding into pessimism? The key is balance and intention. Spend no more than 5 to 10 minutes perhaps at the end of your day visualizing a single, specific setback. Choose something that matters: missing a deadline, a dear friend moving away, or an email you dread receiving. Imagine the situation vividly, the emails you'd send, the emotions you'd feel, the immediate void of comfort. Let the sadness or frustration wash over you for a moment. Feel it. Then gently pivot. Reflect on how grateful you are to have these aspects in your life now. Notice the relief in your chest when you realize that, for today, these losses are only thoughts, not reality. Here's a concrete example. Suppose you cherish your weekly Sunday brunch with a close friend. Tonight, before sleep, picture that table set for 2, with an empty seat across from you. Hear the clock chime. Feel the quiet. Sense the loneliness. Acknowledge the ache in your heart. Then bring your attention back. How lucky I am to share laughter, stories, and pancakes with them every week. You'll lie down with a warmer heart and wake up with deeper appreciation. Negative visualization also teaches adaptability. Imagine your laptop dying just before an important presentation. How would you adapt? Perhaps you print key slides in advance or learn to present without slides. In doing so, you become proactive rather than reactive when real challenges emerge. This forward-thinking mindset, championed by Epictetus, transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Let me ask you, when was the last time you stopped to truly feel gratitude for what you have? If you can't remember, that's a sign. To begin this practice tonight, start small. Imagine one loss, feel it, then anchor yourself in thankfulness. Over time, you'll notice a quieter mind, fewer emotional upheavals, and a wellspring of calm strength that comes from knowing you're prepared for life's unpredictability. Negative visualization isn't about dwelling on misery, it's about sharpening your joy and fortifying your spirit. By regularly inviting these shadows into your awareness, you build a lamp that shines all the brighter. So tonight, before you drift to sleep, take a moment to imagine what you might lose, and in doing so, discover how deeply you already possess what matters most. Part 3. Cultivating virtue through purposeful action. Imagine waking up each morning with a clear, focused intention, not simply to get through the day, but to live with purpose, guided by the timeless virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. This is the Stoic path of cultivating virtue through purposeful action, a practice that transforms ordinary moments into stepping stones toward inner strength and moral clarity. Have you ever completed a day only to realize it slipped by an autopilot, reacting to emails, scrolling social media, checking items off a list without any real sense of meaning? The Stoics believe that our highest calling isn't comfort or pleasure, but the consistent choice to act rightly, moment by moment. Epictetus, once a slave forced to scrub the floors of Rome, taught that freedom lies not in external circumstances, but in the integrity of our decisions. Don't just say you have read books, he reminded us, but say you have acted upon them. So, how do we bring these lofty ideals down into our daily routines? It begins with what Marcus Aurelius called the daily virtue check. Each morning before your phone or your to-do list, take a moment to set an intention around one virtue. Perhaps today is a day for wisdom. You might commit to listening intently in conversations, asking clarifying questions, or pausing before reacting. Or maybe you choose courage. You'll speak up in that meeting, share your honest perspective with a friend, or tackle a task you've been avoiding. On another morning, you might focus on justice, seeking to treat everyone you meet with fairness and respect, from the barista handing you coffee to the co-worker asking for feedback. And on days devoted to temperance, you could refuse a small indulgence, skip the extra dessert, limit your time on news sites, or practice moderation in your spending. Here's an anecdote from Seneca, writing from his villa. He describes encountering a beggar outside his gate. Instead of dismissing the man, Seneca paused, offered a linen cloak, and reflected on the shared bond of humanity. In that moment of compassion, he wasn't merely performing charity, he was embodying justice, acknowledging that all people deserve dignity. This practice isn't a rigid checklist to induce guilt. Rather, it's a compass that molds character. In the evening, conduct a brief reflection. Ask yourself, how well did I live my intention? If you faltered, if impatience flared, or you stayed silent when you should have spoken, acknowledge it without self-flagellation. Stoic self-examination is not self-punishment. It's an opportunity to chart a wiser course tomorrow. Consider another everyday scene. You're stuck in a long line at the grocery store. Frustration wells up, your mind races with imagined catastrophes. I'll be late for my meeting. But what if you treated this moment as a chance to practice temperance? Instead of fuming, you choose calm. You observe the people around you, silently wishing them well. You remind yourself that your time is yours to steward, regardless of external delays. In that simple shift, you transform irritation into inner peace. But Stoicism also honors bold action. Marcus Aurelius counseled that virtue without bravery is incomplete. Imagine you notice unfair treatment of a colleague. The Stoic path calls you not merely to feel indignation, but to act, perhaps by gently intervening, offering support, or speaking with leadership. In doing so, you exercise courage and justice in tandem over months and years. These purposeful acts coalesce, forging a resilient character. You begin to sense a quiet confidence. Setbacks no longer shake you to the core because you stand firmly on the ground of your principles. You realize that the only approval you truly need is your own, measured against the virtues you've chosen. Let me ask you, which virtue speaks to you most urgently today? Maybe it's wisdom, listening more than reacting, or maybe it's temperance, finding freedom and self-discipline. Whatever it is, name it now, write it down. Then, tomorrow morning, carry that intention into your first interaction. Notice how your day subtly shifts, how even small decisions feel charged with deeper meaning. Cultivating virtue through purposeful action is not a lofty dream, it's a practical, moment-by-moment commitment. With each choice aligned to wisdom, courage, justice, or temperance, you build an unshakable fortress of character. And in that fortress, you discover the true power of Stoicism, not in escaping life's challenges, but in meeting them with a heart both calm and courageous. Part 4. Journaling, the mirror of the mind. Imagine settling into your favorite chair at night, pen in hand, the the world outside quieting as you turn inward. This simple ritual journaling is more than a diary habit. It is a mirror held up to the soul, revealing the contours of our thoughts, emotions, and deepest values. For the Stoics, writing was not idle reflection, but a decisive practice for cultivating clarity, resilience, and moral growth. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, crafted his meditations as private letters to himself, raw, honest, and unfiltered. In one entry, he writes, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being." This line feels so personal because it was born in solitude, in the margin between exhaustion and duty. He used journaling to steel his resolve, to remind himself that every day offered an opportunity to act by reason and virtue. Have you ever experienced that swirl of conflicting thoughts, guilt about yesterday's argument, anxiety about tomorrow's deadline, a vague sense of restlessness you can't shake? In those moments, the mind is like a room cluttered with unfinished business and half-formed fears. Journaling becomes the sweep of a broom, gathering dust into piles you can examine, sort, and clear away. Epictetus, born into slavery and later freed, extolled the power of self-reflection. He compared the soul to a garden. If left untended, it grows wild with weeds, resentment, envy, doubt, but with regular attention, planting seeds of gratitude, cutting away negative thoughts, the garden flourishes. Writing, he taught, is the act of tilling that soil, exposing roots so you can nurture what serves you and uproot what harms you. So, how do we transform scattered musings into a Stoic journaling practice? First, set aside a ritual time, perhaps 10 minutes as your day winds down. You don't need ornate stationery. A simple notebook and pen suffice. Begin by labeling the date and a few bullet points, key events, emotional highs and lows, decisions. You may doubt as you write. Don't shy away from honesty. Stoic journaling isn't about painting yourself in a flattering light, it's about facing imperfections without shame. When Marcus noted his impatience or pride, he wasn't wallowing. He was pinpointing the exact fault lines where growth could occur. Consider a real-life scenario. You delivered a presentation and noticed your voice waver. When questions arose, later in your journal, you explore that moment. I felt my confidence slip. Was it fear of judgment? Did I doubt my preparation? By naming these feelings on paper, you gain distance. You might discover the root cause, a lack of rehearsal, or perhaps an old habit of fearing criticism. In recognizing the pattern, you can design a plan, more practice sessions, or reframing questions as opportunities rather than threats. Journaling also serves as a record of progress. Flip through entries from weeks ago and observe how far you've come. Perhaps the nervous tremor in your voice has quieted, or your tendency to react with anger has softened into a thoughtful pause. These tangible markers build confidence and motivation to continue. Let me ask you, when was the last time you truly listened to yourself, without distraction or judgment? If the answer isn't clear, tonight is the perfect moment to begin. Light a candle if you like, brew a cup of tea, and open your journal. Write as if you're speaking to a trusted mentor within. Honor the discomfort, note the victories, and above all, show up with kindness toward yourself. In the pages of your journal, you'll discover a sanctuary, a space where confusion transforms into insight, where emotional turmoil gives way to equanimity, and where the disciplined mind you yearn for begins to take shape. Through this mirror of the mind, you learn that the voice guiding your actions need not be clouded by doubt or swept away by emotion. Instead, it can be steady, clear, and unwavering, a reflection of the Stoic ideal lived day by day. Part 5. Mindful presence, anchoring in the moment. Picture yourself walking through a quiet forest at dawn. The air is crisp, each breath filling your lungs with gentle clarity. You hear the soft rustle of leaves, feel the textured bark beneath your fingertips, and notice the subtle play of light between branches. In that moment, nothing exists outside of your awareness and the world immediately before you. This is mindful presence, the Stoic art of anchoring in the here and now, and it's one of the most powerful tools for cultivating inner calm and unwavering focus. Have you ever found your mind drifting during a conversation, while washing, dishes, or even sitting in traffic lost among thoughts of the past or worries about the future. We've all been there. One minute we're listening to a friend. The next we're replaying an argument or planning tomorrow's to-do list. Marcus Aurelius, writing amid battles and political turmoil, urged himself to confine yourself to the present. Why? Because real life happens only in the present. When we scatter our attention, we forfeit the precious moments we have. So, what does Stoic presence look like in everyday life? It begins with single tasking, a radical departure from our culture of multitasking. Instead of juggling emails while on a call, choose one activity and immerse yourself fully. Imagine Epictetus, once a slave, teaching freedom of the mind, sweeping the courtyard. He didn't see it as menial labor. He saw it as an opportunity to practice focus, to observe his breath, the weight of the broom, the patterns of dust rising in the morning light. In that simple act, he reminded us that every task, no matter how small, can become a doorway to clarity. Next comes fully attending, not just looking, but truly seeing, not just hearing, but deeply listening. Consider a moment you shared with a loved one. Maybe you laughed together over coffee or comforted each other during sad news. How memorable were those moments? Probably because you were fully there, attuned to each other's tone, gesture, and energy. When you practice full attention, you honor both yourself and those around you. You communicate value and presence through your very focus. To weave mindfulness into a busy day, the Stoics recommend brief mindful pauses. Throughout your day, pause for 30 seconds, 3 mindful breaths. Inhale slowly, notice the cool air entering your nostrils, the gentle rise of your chest. Exhale completely, feel the release of tension, the settling of your shoulders. These small anchors in time interrupt reactive patterns and bring you back to serenity. Even amidst chaos, let me share a simple anecdote Seneca once wrote about a friend who was perpetually anxious about his health. To ground him, Seneca suggested that every morning he hold a pebble in his hand and reflect, "This day, perhaps my health will fail, or someone dear to me may depart. Yet I begin this day." With this steady thought, the pebble became a tactile reminder to return to the present and breathe in acceptance. You can replicate this. Choose any small object, a stone, a coin, a ring, and let its touch draw your attention back whenever your mind wanders. Mindful presence also deepens our appreciation of ordinary wonders. When you eat, taste each flavor. When you walk, feel each step. When you listen, absorb each nuance of sound. Stoics believe that nature itself teaches presence. The ocean doesn't worry about the horizon. The oak doesn't fret about winter. They simply fulfill their role, moment by moment. Can you, too, embody that flowing, grounded energy? I invite you to try an exercise now. Pause whatever you're doing, close your eyes, and focus on one sense, perhaps sound. Listen to the ambient noises around you. Name them silently: hum of a fan, distant chatter, the rhythm of your heartbeat. Then open your eyes and carry that acute awareness into your next task. Notice how the world sharpens, how your mind quiets, and how a simple shift in attention can restore your poise. In practicing mindful presence, you reclaim the only time you truly have, this instant. You transform life from a blur of distractions into a series of vivid, meaningful encounters. With each breath, you anchor in stillness. With each moment, you forge inner strength. So as you move through your day, whether washing dishes, drafting an email, or sharing a meal, remember to be fully here, fully you. In that presence lies your unshakable power and the profound peace that Stoics have cherished for millennia. Part 6. Turning obstacles into opportunities. Imagine you're driving down a familiar road when suddenly a fallen tree blocks your path. Anger flares, your appointment is now delayed, and stress is mounting. Yet in that moment lies a choice: curse the inconvenience, or see this obstacle as an invitation to adapt, grow, and learn. This, dear listener, is the Stoic alchemy of turning impediments into opportunities. Captured in Marcus Aurelius' powerful words, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Have you ever paused long enough to ask, what lesson is hidden here? When Marcus faced revolts, exhaustion, and the death of friends, he didn't collapse in despair. Instead, he reframed each crisis as a crucible, strengthening his character. In the flames of adversity, he discovered qualities patience, resourcefulness, compassion that comfort and success alone could never forge. So, how does this mindset play out in our everyday lives? Let's start small. Suppose your morning coffee machine breaks. You might grumble, mourn the loss of your ritual, and slip into a grumpy mood. Or you could embrace the hiccup, brew tea, step outside for fresh air, or connect with a neighbor over the brief errand of buying beans. In that minor setback, you find a chance to pause your autopilot, explore alternatives, and perhaps even spark a new habit you'll cherish. Epictetus, who began life as a slave, faced shackles far heavier than a broken appliance, yet he taught that our true bondage comes not from chains, but from our judgments. When Epictetus lost his teaching chair in Rome's library, he didn't lament the venue. He simply packed his lectures into scrolls and continued teaching elsewhere, reminding us that obstacles only impede if we let them. His life became a testament that purpose transcends circumstance. Let's deepen our reflection. When a project at work goes awry, deadlines missed, resources insufficient, your first instinct might be self-blame or panic. But the Stoic asks, what can I learn? Perhaps you'll uncover flaws in planning, communication, or resilience under pressure. These insights aren't indictments, they're invaluable roadmaps for future success. By dissecting the failure without self-judgment, you transform frustration into fuel for improvement. Seneca offers another vivid illustration. Stripped of his political power and exiled by Nero's capricious decree, Seneca did not languish in bitterness. He wrote searingly beautiful letters on how exile unveiled inner freedom. No one can drag me low unless I let myself be dragged in isolation. He cultivated a robust inner life, philosophical reflection, friendship through letters, and the practice of self-discipline. His adversity became the very stage upon which his greatest ideas bloomed. Pause and probe. Think of an obstacle you currently face. Is it a relationship turning sour, a health setback, or financial strain? Now ask, how can this situation sharpen me? Maybe a strained friendship reveals communication patterns that need repair. A health challenge might illuminate the value of self-care and community support. Financial hardship could spark creativity in budgeting or new income streams. Here's a practical ritual to train this Stoic lens. Whenever you encounter resistance, pause and silently recite, what can I gain? Then jot down one potential silver lining, no matter how small. Over time, this habit rewires your mind to seek growth rather than wallowing in defeat. You'll find that obstacles no longer loom as threats, but stand as gateways to deeper wisdom. In adopting this mindset, you begin to embody the Stoic ideal, unbreakable in spirit, flexible in form. When life throws its fiercest blow, be it loss, betrayal, or calamity, you draw upon the well of inner strength you cultivated through every smaller challenge. You become a master of your narrative, steering adversity into achievement. So the next time life's road is blocked, remember, the barrier is not your enemy, but your guide. Lean into the friction, ask your Stoic question, discover the hidden path forward. In doing so, you'll not only overcome, you'll transform and emerge wiser, more resilient, and profoundly empowered. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the timeless practices of Stoicism. We've explored how to embrace what we can control, use negative visualization to deepen gratitude, cultivate virtue through daily action, journal as a mirror for the mind, anchor ourselves in mindful presence, and transform every obstacle into an opportunity. Each step is a doorway leading you back to the one thing you truly own, your inner life. As you step away from this episode, take a moment to breathe in the quiet strength you've uncovered. Carry these insights with you into tomorrow's challenges and triumphs. Remember, the path of the Stoic is not a distant ideal, but a lived experience, renewed with every choice you make. I'm deeply grateful for your attention and your willingness to explore these ancient and ever-relevant wisdoms alongside me. If this video resonated with you, please let me know. Share it with someone who could use a dose of inner calm, and subscribe to stay connected as we continue to unlock the power of Stoic philosophy together. Until next time, stand firm, live with purpose, and let your inner strength shine. Farewell and thank you.